of the other organizations that have pulled off the service this year and years in the past, I welcome you on behalf of the community of Manna and of St. Paul's, of Church on the Hill, who has hosted us for many, many years, of all of the different faith providers that have put in their input and shared their voices to make sure that this happened.
Come together to remember our friends who have gone before us.
It is right that we are here doing this. Even in COVID times, it is right that we are doing it outside. We are claiming this as a sacred space to honor our brothers, our sisters, our siblings who have passed away this past year in homelessness or as a result of homelessness.
The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases.
I named Omaha. He was homeless. He was a very quiet guy. And the word isolation and homelessness and not fitting in. When he got housed, he was happy. He was at peace, feeding the birds and feeding the ducks and squirrels in the public gardens.
We have been doing a Longest Night memorial service for over 20 years. And the first couple of years it happened, or the first year it happened because somebody in this community had died on Boston Common. And the community on the street was so worried that that person's life would be lost with no memorial service, with nothing. And so the community on this street, this community decided to start doing in Boston a Longest Night event.
This past year has been incredibly difficult, and it can be hard to access that pain, and maybe it might feel hard to access those stories. So if there are periods of silence, I invite us just to sink into the silence.
That there is no formula for how to remember someone. We all remember people who have passed away, and how we go about remembering them depends on the individual.
And we had several memorials over at Copley. There was also several in the Emmanuel Church. There were artists. I like to always remember. One was ran over by a truck.
It was bad when I was out there too. When you are out there, you are in survival mode.
We're going to be saying people's names. We're going to be saying people's names to remember that our beloved family members, our siblings who died outside or as a result of homelessness, were more than a number. They were a name. And so in that spirit, I invite your names to be shared later, but also your memories. It is okay in this space to remember who we have lost.
Within 2 blocks of where I've lived in the last 2 years, at least 8 or 10 people have died of overdoses and or getting beat up because some people think it's nice to take advantage of those who are sleeping.
We believe that the bonds of friendship and affection that united us in life do not dissolve with death.
Let's not forget Martin. He's up in the hospital and stuff, you know. Even though he's not dead, he's still a big part of our family.
We're here because we are recognizing the death of people. But we don't recognize what each one of us bring to life. We're recognizing those who have died. But we didn't recognize them when they were living. Isn't that sad that we don't recognize us?
It is.
We only recognize us in death? That's sad.